One of the most common things that you'll hear about dating is that women choose the bad boy. They go for the arrogant guy. And if you have some level of dating experience, you would probably agree with this. You probably think, yes, that's true. Me being a nice guy, I get zero results. I get rejected. I get ghosted. I get left on red. In this video, I'm going to teach you why women don't actually want the arrogant guy and what they do actually want, and then how you can use that in your dating life to then get more results. So if you didn't know who I was, my name is Mathew, and I've been a dating coach for multiple years now. I basically help guys go from where they are now, 0 dates, no experience, maybe they're just unhappy and can't get the quality woman they want, to a place where they are happy. They are attracting the 10 out of 10. They are going on regular dates. They can find women who actually want them for them. That's what I do. And before I became a full-time coach, one of the most common observations that I made as a previously shy, anxious, awkward guy that didn't have the dating results that he wanted was that women seemed to go for the arrogant guy, the dickhead, the bad boy, the guy who didn't really want her. And of course, being a young, naive guy, I thought, you know what, let's just copy that behavior. Let's emulate those characteristics and I will get the exact same results. And I did this, and it kind of worked. But after years of faking who I was and pretending to be somebody else, I realized that this was not what women actually want. And this is the biggest issue with modern dating advice. It is extremely polarized. You're either taught to be vulnerable, talk about your emotions, talk about your feelings, cry in front of her, or you're on the other side and you're taught, never cry, never tell her anything, never be vulnerable, never do this, never do that. But like anything in life, the real answer, or the answer you want to follow your life by, is usually somewhere down the middle. It's usually not one of the extreme answers. So this is what I'm going to give you. Before I give you the answer, you need to first understand what the bad boy or the arrogant guy actually is. It's a guy who is selfish, a guy who puts himself first every single time, a guy who has something that is more important than her. Ultimately, this is why she chooses him. This is why she will go for him, become obsessed with him. Because as humans, we want what we can't have. That brand new PS5 that you've been wanting for years, but you can't justify spending that money. You want this because you can't have it. Maybe it's the new car or the new house or the new pair of shoes, whatever it is, right? But I guarantee, as soon as you had that thing, you wouldn't care anymore. Think back to Christmas when you were a kid and you begged your parents for something and then you got that thing. And guess what? You weren't any happier. Or maybe you were, but for like 5 minutes and then the feeling wore off. Dating is the exact same thing. And unfortunately, for women, this is a major component in their attraction. That's why when you reveal yourself to them fully, you give everything away, you blurt out your entire life story on the first date, they generally lose interest. Because what else do they have to figure out? What motivation do they have to keep chatting to you? Because for women, a lot of the attraction is actually the mystery. It's what they don't know about you. And that's why the so-called arrogant bad boy, he will do well. Now, short term, yes, this will get you women, this will get you laid, this will get you flings, relationships, but long term, this will not work. And long term, you need a better strategy to actually attract these women towards you and keep them attracted to you. So how do we actually achieve the best of both worlds? Well, my advice to you is to live your life like the arrogant bad boy, to be unavailable at times, to be very selfish, to always put you first. And let's say we do this, so 80% of the time, your attention is elsewhere. She can't really get a hold of you. She doesn't know what you're doing. But then that 20% of the time, you have the compassion of the nice guy. You ask her about herself. You take her out. You make her feel good. You are vulnerable. And when I say vulnerable, I don't mean you cry in front of her and tell her about all of your biggest insecurities. I mean you act normal. You speak to her like a human. You open up a little bit. But these moments, they only account for 20% of the time. This could be a few conversations per week. This could be a few conversations per week. And the point of what I'm saying here isn't to live your life by some game, by some rigid rules that you must follow, but more of an understanding of what you should implement into your life if you want the best results. Because unfortunately, if you are too much of the nice guy, you will lose her straight away or not even attract her in the first place. But on the other end, if you're too arrogant and too much of this bad boy, you will give her so much anxiety that it will become unmanageable to be with her. She will be almost trauma bonded to you. So when you're with her, it might feel amazing because she's obsessed with you. She won't leave you alone. But then as soon as you two aren't together, she will not leave you alone. I've had relationships before when they feel amazing because you're being validated constantly. They have no clue who you are, no idea who it is you are. And this works, like I say, short term. But long term, if your goal is to have a family, to have children, to have a long-term relationship, which is what I want and what I have, this doesn't work because you'll make her so anxious. The time spent with her no longer outweighs all the anxiety and insecurity that you now give her. You will literally make her codependent on you if you act like this, which is why I want you guys to follow the 80-20 rule. So here's an actual example of how you can act and live your life with her. When you're with her, you're extremely present. You give her lots of attention. You make jokes. You tease. You flirt, following the advice from my other videos. You make it about her. It's not me saying lick her ass, give her loads of compliments. This is saying be with her. But then when you're not with her, you are extremely focused on your own thing, your purpose, your career, your mission, whatever you want to call this. She can only get a hold of you a few times per day. And not because you're playing some weird games or ignoring her, because you are genuinely busy. You're working, you're at the gym, you're working on your side hustle, whatever it may be. And when you do this, I promise you will get the best from her because you will validate her enough to know that you care and you want to be with her when you do spend time with her. But then when you're not with her, she'll know, okay, he's busy and he's not speaking to me, but that's fine because when he's with me, I get everything that I want. If you do this, this is the best setup for a long-term relationship and the best way to go into this because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the highly attractive traits of the bad boy where you are a bit selfish, a bit distant, a bit avoidant, but then you are also getting the benefits of being that more compassionate guy because you are showing your more vulnerable side to her when you give her that attention. Now, of course, within these videos, I don't have time to go very deep into these topics, otherwise the videos will be hours long. So if you want to learn more about this in terms of attracting the women you want, dating them long term, getting more matches, more dates, whatever it is, you can book a free call below where we will go over your specific problems and then how we can overcome this. But if you're not ready for that, there are free guides that you can also download in my bio below. Until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.